Yes, sir, I do. Coach Hall, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, terrific. We'll go ahead and get started with Georgia Tech baseball head coach Danny Hall, post-game press conference following tonight's 5-3 win over Pitt. Coach, if you could open us up with some remarks before we take questions.
Yeah, just really, really excited to get a win. Wasn't easy, got down early. But I think the key for us was Andy Archer started a little rough, just was having trouble locating his pitches. But then I think he retired something like 12 in a row over the last 4 innings, and just gave us a chance to hang in there and win. I think the key at bat for me was we made 2 first pitch outs. Will Height bunted for an out. Waddell, I think, lined into an out. And then Malloy goes down 2 strikes to Gilbertson and then ended up getting on base, kind of turned that at bat around, got on base. And then I think, Parada had a big hit, Compton, huge hit to give us the lead. And then Tres Gonzalez late. I think Colin had a leadoff walk, Tres Gonzalez with, a ball off the wall. And then Maxwell came in. Finley threw the ball outstanding. Maxwell then came in, and it was good to see us finally close the game out in the 9th inning. And I think the more we can get those guys out there in tough spots, the more comfortable they're going to be.
Okay, we'll open up for questions for Coach Hall. If you have a question, please use the raise hand function within Zoom. We'll call on people individually, beginning with Rod McKenzie from 247 Sports.
Hey, Danny, it seems like Finley's going to be a key guy for you, and it seems like the last couple of times he's gone out there, he's looked a lot more comfortable in his throwing and locating his pitches a lot better.
I thought he threw the ball great. Good fastball, threw his breaking ball for a strike, and it's great to see out of him. He works hard, and he's made a lot of progress.
Next question comes from Russell Johnson from Rivals.
Speaking of Finley, did you have any thought in your mind at all of having him go out there and pitch tonight?
We did. We definitely did, and he felt like his forearm tightened up on him. So just being, I guess, kind of transparent about it, we just didn't want to push him in that situation. And but had that not happened, he was going to go back out for the 9th.
Question from Patience Veitch.
Coach, do you think Zach Maxwell has proved enough to be the starting closer?
Probably. We talked about a little bit as a staff today, and we may just moving forward flip he and Bartnicki in their roles, where Bartnicki's more of a setup guy and Maxwell is our closer.
Another question from Rod McKenzie.
As far as Andy Archer goes, he really gave probably you couldn't have asked for much more. 7 innings gives your bullpen a little rest, and I guess you'll have some guys available tomorrow.
Yeah, we should just about have everybody back in there tomorrow. And yeah, I can't say enough about Archer. I mean, this is two Saturdays in a row where he's pitched great and given us a chance to win a series on Sunday. And that was certainly the goal after last night, was to do everything we could to win today. And like I said, Pitt is scrappy. Their kid pitched a great ball game. And, but credit our guys for hanging in there after a tough loss last night, just grinding through this and finding a way to win.
Okay, we'll take 2 more. We'll take one from Russell Johnson and then a final one from Rod McKenzie. So Russell, go ahead.
It seems like recently Jake DeLeo has really started to come on strong. With this past week being off with no midweek game, was there anything specific that he was working on, or is this just, who he is as a player?
I think it's more just who he is. I mean, he works hard. He likes to hit a lot. He's a good defender. He can run. We've thought all along when we recruited him, he was going to be a great player for us. And, I think it's just the more he sees, the better he's going to get. And I think he's just kind of relaxing, comfortable, knows he's going to get plenty of chances to play. And I think that just, helps him relax, gives him some confidence.
Okay, Rod, go ahead and wrap us up with Coach Hall.
Yeah, Danny, earlier in the game, you had guys in scoring position, couldn't get that big hit, but when it counted towards the end, your guys like Parada, Compton, and Gonzalez really came through for you.
No question, Compton was one of those guys that, seemed like he had a lot of guys on every at bat that he came up. But to his credit, he hung in there, and when we really needed it, he came up big and got knocked in 2 guys, gave us the lead. So, I think we had a good plan, but I can't say it enough. Gilbertson threw great for them, and so to kind of be down and just hang in there, I'm really proud of the way our guys battled.
Coach Hall, thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Hey, our players are going to be Andy Archer and Kevin Parada.
Thanks for the heads up.
Ready when you are, Flynn.
Hey, Andy, can you hear me okay?
I sure can. How you doing?
Doing great. Yourself?
I'm well. Thank you.
Good. All right, we'll go ahead and start with questions for Andy Archer. If you have a question, please use the raise hand function within Zoom. We'll call on people individually, beginning with Rod McKenzie from 247 Sports.
Andy, I guess tonight you faced a similar situation that you faced last Saturday. The team needed you to pick them up, and after losing on Friday, what was going through your head and what was working for you tonight?
Yeah, Rod, that's a great point about similar situation 2 weeks in a row. But I'll say this: one of the ways that you can tell that this is a great team is just by the way that we bounce back. There was never a doubt in anyone's mind today as we went through pregame, BP, everything that we were going to win today. It was just a matter of when, and so proud of just an absolute team win, man. It's so much fun to come out here and have everyone contribute and just everyone play well, and just a big win. So ready to take the series tomorrow.
Next question comes from Patience Veitch.
How good did it feel to go out there and pitch 7 solid innings to put the team in a position to win tonight and also giving us a chance to win the series tomorrow?
Yeah, good question. I think it felt really good. I'm definitely gonna be hurting a little bit tomorrow, but just have really enjoyed this transition to a new role. Just kind of knew what was being asked of me today, and that was just to go out and throw strikes for as long as I can. Defense played really, really well again, so for me to go and give 7 was good, but definitely could not have done so without defense playing as good as they did.
Another question from Rod McKenzie.
Andy, you threw, I believe, 93 pitches tonight. Is that about where you want to be, as far as your pitch count goes? Or, how did you feel at the end?
I'm not going to lie, Ron, I was a little gassed at the end, so I think 93 was good. But the plan is to keep going and keep building. And regardless of pitch count, Danny Burrell is keeping track of just how my stuff looks, velocity, command, all sorts of things. So I'm just going to go out and do my thing and execute pitches. And when they pull me, they pull me. But I'd love to, keep increasing that number as the season goes on, just to answer your question.
Okay, another one from Rod.
Andy, talking about Coach Burrell, what has he been working on with you, as far as, your different types of pitches, that type of thing?
Yeah, it's a really good question. It kind of changes week to week, just going back to the whole development thing. And so, I'm so thankful for all the work that he's put in with me. But he's got a different objective for me every Sunday. So like tomorrow I'll get up and we'll sit down and we'll talk a little bit about today, but then, the focus starting right now is for next Saturday. So I'll have a purpose for my bullpen on Wednesday, and I'll have a purpose for my throwing days, just playing catch throughout the week. And so just continuing to work on my slider, execute pitches down in the zone, and then see where we're at next Saturday.
Andy, congratulations. Thanks a lot. We'll talk to you next week.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Ready when you are, Flynn.
Hey, Kevin, can you hear me okay?
Yep, I can hear you well.
Okay, terrific. We'll go ahead and start with questions for Kevin Parada. If you have a question, please use the raise hand function within Zoom. We'll call on people individually, beginning with Rod McKenzie from 247 Sports. Hey, Rod, you're muted.
What was it like tonight catching Archer, and what was working for him?
Andy was all over the zone with all three pitches, and just he went right after hitters. That's what made it good and fun to catch and fun to watch.
Next question comes from Russell Johnson from Rivals.
Compared to the mood last night post game and to tonight post game, what was said after the game yesterday, and what was the mindset going into today?
Obviously, last night was a frustrating loss, especially because we were up by 4 in the end of the ninth. But it happens; it's baseball, and so tonight, finishing it off and getting a win and getting an opportunity to win a series tomorrow is what all we could ask for. So that's we're electric, and we know that we can score runs and get guys out. So that's what it is.
Another question from Rod McKenzie.
Hey, Kevin, earlier in the game, Pitt's pitcher was really, working it pretty good against you guys. What led to the late rally?
Seeing the guy multiple times, and obviously we were able to see some pitches and force him to go long innings, and 2 out knocks. That was a big thing. 2 out ABs. That was huge, and what I believe that got us to win this ball game.
Question from Patience Veitch.
Was there anything in particular that you saw from Pitt's pitchers that helped you have such a successful night at the plate?
It's not like any other game. You get to see pitches, you have film, and honestly, it's just pitch selection, being selective, and that's all it is. And when our guys are selective and force them to make better pitches, we get better pitches to hit.
Another one from Russell Johnson.
Looks like post game you're sitting at a 5.11 batting average for the season so far. Is that something that you had kept up at all with throughout high school? I didn't really get a chance to look at your stats, but is that something that you did, or is that something you've kind of been unheard of and unseen so far in your career?
Really, for me, at any point in baseball, it's always just about having good ABs every time I go up, and with that, it's going to create on base percentage and hits and all that different stuff. So my pitch selection's gotten a lot better, and I know in high school I hit pretty damn well, but it's just continuously battling and trying to pass the bat back. And when we all stay in team at bats, all our averages just shoot up.
Okay, and we'll take one final question for Kevin from Rod McKenzie.
Hey, Kevin, what has it been like to having Maxwell pop your mitt with that 98-mile-an-hour fastball, and what have the reactions been from some of the batters?
Some of the batters, they're blown away by it, especially when you're like the last guy on the strikeout. I saw he was a freshman, and so that guy's probably never seen 98 out of a hand before. But you catch Zach so many times, and you just know how electric it is and how easy it comes out of his hand, and just fires you up when you just blows a guy away.
Hey, Kevin, congratulations on the win. Appreciate it. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Thanks, everyone.
Mike.
Have a good night.
Thank you.